Hola amigos, welcome to Life for Living Well channel. Please subscribe to keep the channel going. You can also check us out by visiting our website on www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Sit down and enjoy the helpful topic for this week. Hey, welcome back to another episode from Life from Living Well. My name is Richard. The topic I have for you this week, I call it State of Awakening. This podcast is going to be one of the shortest podcasts made in the previous series. So let's get started. So the topic of the podcast for this week, I call it State of Awakening. So the question I ask when I'm putting this together is, what are you awakening from? It sounds like a description for someone who has been asleep. Often this is true into our own personal life, because majority of people are still sleeping even though they are awake. In the way how their behavior, their lifestyle have actually set destructive for them. So what if I tell you that the majority of the people in the world today are fast asleep? You might wanted to question or not agree with that. But if you truthfully want to know, all you need to do is to just spend a few minutes every day for at least for a week, and take a note of your own pattern of behavior. You will see that you are not totally in control or aware of your own actions, how it's impacted you or impacted other people. So, what if I tell you that the majority of the people in the world today are fast asleep, and they are just living their life like a clever IE? So, IE, like clever artificial intelligence, which are the collection of several behaviors and patterns, and they are building a suitable lifestyle around it. How far is the life of the human? We feel ourselves in we are also very predictable in our judgment and actions. So this is the single difference between awakening and unawake soul. To be awakened, you notice some of these following attributes. But before I go into those attributes, it's always amazed me that I've never met the angry bird. I've never seen a depressed fish. But only animals that experience this kind of emotions are the animals that are close to the human beings. So by nature, human beings for some reason find themselves in the lower vibration of their emotions. And why is that? And if we don't awake, we don't begin to work on these things, and make us more making some of the key decisions in our life in a conscious state rather being unconscious most of the time. Most of us will say, oh, I know what I like, I know what I want. But what we're actually saying is that I know what I feel comfortable with. Anything that takes us out of that comfort zone, we do two things. We resist it or we fight it. So let's look at the 4 attributes that I've stated in this podcast. To others, it'd be more than that, but let's just look into this simple 4 attributes that you will notice with someone that's already awoke. Number 1, they have humble mind. What is the humble mind? How does it look like? And how do I know I have humble mind? And what is the actual benefit to me and the world of having a humble mind? The mind that is humble will work for you, not against you. In a state of stillness, you will experience it more through mindfulness and meditation. So how do you activate your humble mind? Is being still. Some of the time we overvalue our mind. There's a place for it, but sometimes this mind can enslave us because it's constantly making us thinking about things that is not happening right now. What is more important is what is happening to you right now. What is happening to you right now is not the problem. It could be challenging how you solve it. But constantly allow your mind to driven the agenda of your life is taking you away from the richness of life itself. So to have an humble mind is to be making your mind still nice at that moment. So a mind that is humble will work for you, not against you. Some of us, majority of the people, their mind actually will work against them. If one family member sent me a message recently, and she said, "I'm so sorry to be bothering you early in the morning. I'm an emotional person, and I'm feeling so low and bad, and I just want to push this energy out." So as I was on my daily routine, I was going for a walk, a quiet walk along the riverbank. So my phone pinged, and I saw the flash. I saw the summary of the message, and that's when I saw I have low emotion and I want to push it out. So something popped into my mind. Am I the person to take this emotion, or should I channel this person to handle it in a healthy way? So I didn't respond in time to that message because I did not want to disrupt the flow of my working and the person coming. And so I picked up the call and I told her what I was doing and why I didn't respond to her message straight away, because I saw the snapshot. And then she started laughing because I told her that I was asking myself, should I be me that should be dump all this low emotion too? And then she started laughing. And I said, okay, what is the problem? Why do you send this kind of message? And apparently that day was her birthday, and a close one of her siblings sent a very business-like message, like you could send to an acquaintances, not someone that actually you're close to or just simple business-like message. And she didn't take it well. So I said to her, what happens if you send this message to you in the Chinese that you didn't speak, you didn't understand? How will you feel? She started laughing. What happens if you send it to you in Punjabi, how will you feel? And I said, use it for your own spiritual growth, because you have expectation of this person, and the expectation you have for them, you want it back for you, and that's out of your control. So to have the humble mind is to not let your mind dictate to you, because so many things that you have no control about. You have no control about the state of mind of the other people, how the other people's behave. Their behavior might be irritating to you, but it should never disturb your internal peace. But the moment their behavior and actions that affect your internal peace, then that is the moment you should use that opportunity to seek to understand yourself even more, because you are relying your peace of mind into the hand of another person. So to have in the humble mind, what will happen to you, your mind is no longer control you. And to achieve this thing is two ways. It's through this experiencing the stillness, purposely, intentionally, through the mindfulness and meditation. So let's move to the second part. The second part is transcending ego. You are no longer attached to stories from the past or fiction. So when this happens to you, when you are waking, you are no longer being controlled about events that have happened in the past in your life, and you constantly rehashing it, ruminating it. I met someone and they were carrying so much anger in them, and sometimes they tell you incidents that have happened to them in their marriage that has happened 40 years ago, and you would think that it just happened right now. And all the actors that have contributed to that anger in them, most of them have gone. They're no longer in this world anymore. But the impact and the history that they're reacting to themselves, and they're constantly making themselves as a victim. But what happened to them, that anger is now affecting their current relationship, because they're beginning to taking people for granted. They're beginning to treat people as a scumbag. And most people will not be able to handle or accept that, and they walk away. And this person constantly losing what they want more. They're crying for attention. They want to be loved, but their actions and behavior becoming unlovable because of the untreated, wounded trauma, which is resulting to their anger. But when you are waking, because they are in the state of unconscious, they are in the state of sleeping, they didn't say it. They didn't say that they are the one that creating all this enemy for themselves. They are the one that hurted themselves. They were so on the animal level that they were unawakened. But when we awake, we will transcending our ego, because sometimes the reason why most people find it difficult to let go is because of the story they have telling themselves. So their ego so attached to that story to the point that to let it go is very difficult for them to handle. So in this sense, transcending your ego, you becoming no longer attached to the story from the past or for the future. So you no longer have any attachment to the past story. Even when you've done something for someone, or you help someone, or you help and people come to appreciate you and thank you, you don't really attach to that. Oh, thank you for helping me. You are this, you are that. You don't attach to that, because this thing has no any rooted in you. You just, because of your heart is open to help. Number 3, you experience a moment more, which is full of experiences itself. So what I actually mean in this sense is that you no longer live in the past, which is similar to number 2 that I said, but in this case, you experience more stillness. One sage once said, if you quiet your mind, the whole world is under your feet. What that means that you become more lighter, you become more light worker, you become more channel, that you transcend, you receiving higher purpose of vision, knowledge. Whether you are writing, you becoming a channel that this energy go through you, because you no longer bound by the ritualistic part of the life. How do we do that? Some people use meditation, some people use stillness, some people use mindfulness. So these are the things that will make you live moment upon moment. It's really difficult because our ego, our mind, so attached to our ego, they are constantly going to what we're going to do in a minute's time. But when we have trained ourselves to be in a moment, even when we sat down, we don't also fumbling on our phone at the same time. If your intention is to just sit down and just sit and enjoy it in a way that a child enjoy that moment. I remember a few years ago, I went for a run with a friend that had a 4-year-old son at the time. As we were running with the boy, we try to slow down with the run because it's a family run and we do it. But what noticed is that while adult was focused on where we're going, every little time something happened, the boy will make us stop. What does it do? There was a butterfly flowing over the flower bank, and he will stop. He will admire the butterfly, and we will stop. And one day I said to his father, I said, this boy is actually teaching us something, that we should enjoy every moment. We should enjoy every experience. So not all the time we need to focus on goals oriented. Not all the time we needed to focus on what we wanted to achieve. The process of getting there is far more important at the same time than the goal that you want to achieve. And to do that is to just be present. You will say things that doesn't relevantly associated to you, but you need to say it because it will teach you some lesson if you really want to. You might not even know why that happened to you at that moment, but once you are becoming a student, you're becoming to have so many teachers. One sage once said that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And it's true. But what I'll say to you is that make everything become your teacher. So that takes me to the last point, as I wanted to make this podcast under 20 minutes. You make decisions that evolve and you surrender more control to things that is out of your control. And it takes wisdom to know what is within your control and what is out of your control, so you don't become passive individual or someone that just give up. No, because you need to take action to make changes. But this is the catch. How do you feel about that thing? Are you frustrated? Are you feel disappointed? So how do you feel? What kind of emotion you feel about the things that you wanted to impact? So because to surrender is to say there's something you have no power about. There's something that maybe something doesn't need to be changed and you really want to change it. And Viktor Frankl once said that you can take everything from a man. You can take everything. You can take his wife, you can take his husband, you can take his children, you can take his house, you can take his money, you can take his business. But one thing you cannot take from this person is the will to live. So it's a free will. So if somebody decided to go to the left and you want them to go to the right, you have no control over that unless they are willing to work with you. So it takes wisdom to know what you can control and what you cannot control. So that once you learn how to surrender things, it shows that you have developed a wisdom within yourself to choosing your battle wisely. So a lot of people are making their relationship unnecessarily toxic because they want to exercise control. Parents do this to their children a lot. Friends do it to their friends a lot because they want their friend to do certain things with them. They're constantly pushing for it rather than surrender and let things evolve the way it is. A relationship will go through so many phases. There will be time that you'll be flying together. There will be time that other people will come to your life. There will be time that things will go quiet. Once we learn how to accept or feel okay with every weather, then we become like a water. Water doesn't resist, and water can go through any resistance. And once we are soft like a reed and we are bent like a water, we can sustain or survive any challenges. So I hope this podcast helps someone. And before I go, I will say a state of awakening is a stage in an individual life cycle and cannot be changed without a state of awakening. So to change that, we needed to be awake, to be aware of our unconscious behavior. We need to be awake. And once we are awake, we will see all these benefits that I stated above. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast this week. If you have any question, you can check us out on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Thank you so much for your time this week, and have an amazing week and be safe. Ciao. From everyone here from Life for Living Well, we say hasta luego, amigos. Thank you for your time this week. May your rest of the week be safe and loving. Please subscribe to our channel to keep it going. And you can find more information on our website by visiting www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Goodbye.